Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can probably see, we're in a different filming location today because I'm coming at you guys with a video I've wanted to do for a really long time on Tumblr stationery and all the pens and stuff that you see all over the Tumblr study blog. I actually have my friend Marco here who is going to help me. He's a left-handed person, so maybe he can offer you guys a little bit of different perspective because I know that it affects how you write sometimes.
Yeah, at certain times, like the style of which you have to write, how quick you can write. For us, fountain pens, or even just some cheap ballpoints, if you write too quick, you'll smear everything. It's a little different when you're left-handed.
So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, we're going to review 3 different brands for you guys today. We're going to review the Stabilo fineliners, the Muji pens, and the mild liners. We're going to start with the Muji for you guys today, and we'll let Marco get a go here first and tell you what he thinks. Now, those are erasable.
They are?
Yeah. Now, full disclosure, I don't really like those pens a lot because the ink quality is utter crap.
Yeah.
But they are erasable, so...
I'm gonna trust the eraser real quick. Okay. So it does erase. Right off the bat, I have to agree with you on ink.
It drags so much.
I don't like the way it looks either. It's very thin. It's very fine. It
Paper.
Doesn't go through. I will say the thing that probably affects it is a 0.4. If there's a bigger size, I'd probably like it a lot more.
I love fine point stuff personally because, like, I write so small that it doesn't smear together. If I write with a larger pen, it just looks like a blob of ink for me.
Yeah, I think it just goes back to personal preference. I personally like a little bit, like a medium. I do like that it's erasable. It is nice.
It erases pretty good,
It erases pretty good. I wish they had a standalone eraser. It's a nice pen, though.
See, I've noticed the blue one is a lot more pigmented. It just looks so much better.
It does. I like a shade of blue.
Yeah, it's a really nice shade of blue, too.
Yeah, this is definitely way better than the 0.4. I will have to say that. And the other one's a 0.5.
I think it might be something to do with, like, ink in the black, though, because the black just, no matter what size, it looks...
I'm right now trying to get it to smear as if I was...
Yeah, it doesn't really smear.
Doesn't smear, so that's nice. Alright, so off the bat, good pen for left-handed people, in my opinion, just because so far it doesn't do that. Also, it can erase. That's really nice. I would say this is pretty, like a really good, like, note-taking pen.
So I could definitely warrant the blue one, but the black ones are just, they're so pale for a black pen.
I'd have to agree with you on that one. Yeah, the color, the first black one, 0.4, not very great. Don't like the color. The bigger ones and the blue ones, they do look a lot nicer. But I would say, I'd personally probably use it. It is expensive, though.
Yeah, it is.
And
so
I think
they're expensive. I personally don't really like the erasable ones. I just think that the ink is too thin, but I don't like any erasable pen for me personally, so it just...
And that might go back to the pigment thing. Because it's erasable, they have to make a compromise of, okay, you can't have it bleed because then how are you going to erase?
So it's an extremely small tip, but for me, I like it a lot. And I feel like because it's such a small tip, it's a lot less likely to smear. It still does if you do it, like, right away. The thing is, sometimes if they're sitting for a while, they'll get kind of, like, cloudy on the end, and you'll get, like, a ball of ink on the end, and then you'll write with it, and that's when it'll smear. They're really nice pens, personally. I really like the feel of them. For a gel pen of that size, they are extremely smooth.
It might just be my style of writing where I'm very bored.
Yeah, so that's the bigger size. I generally, like, the .38 is really good for note-taking and things like that, but if you're writing a paper or writing for a long period of time, then I like the .5 too. Plus, they come in a variety of different colors,
nice,
so
yeah,
like if you like colored notes, definitely 10 out of 10 would recommend.
I can tell from the blue one, it smears a bit.
Yeah, well, you got into a larger size too, so you're putting out more ink flow.
But it's not that bad. Because I can use a reference as a pencil when writing papers left-handed. A pencil will smear like hell.
Oh, yeah.
It'll smear like hell. This is actually not that bad so far. I'd have to say definitely, again, personal preference 0.5 all the way over the .38. Also, I just like the look of it. It just looks a lot.
It's so minimalistic.
Yeah, I can see
how
you're talking about that cloudiness.
They're used a lot for, like, Tumblr shoots and study blogs and that sort of thing, so that definitely is up to you, the importance on, like, having that aesthetic, because I know some people are like, aesthetic, gotta have it.
Yeah.
And some people are like, I'm a broke college student, I can't afford any of this stuff, so it definitely depends on what you want.
Definitely what you were saying about the aesthetic, these are way more aesthetic pens. They look really nice. Even though I don't really like this one, it's beautiful. For a ballpoint pen, but like you said, note-taking, I'd probably just rather use like something I get at Walmart for like a pack.
Yeah.
It's nice, and I'd rather have it than nothing, but if it's like serious note-taking, probably wouldn't spend an entire $3 pen on it.
Yeah, because, I mean, you blow through ink in a Muji.
Probably you can use the smaller ones probably for that. to conserve ink, but if you're going
Yeah.
to like a 0.5 or something bigger, yeah, it might be much.
Yeah, so that is our review of the Muji pens. I would recommend them if you're willing to spend the price. Personally, I really like the feel of them. For me, they work well. I don't really write that much on paper though. I take a lot of my notes on the computer, so for me it's not the end-all be-all, but if I want to do something kind of fancier, I like to have those pens as like a nice alternative. And they're my main writing tool, so for me, I really like them.
I don't know if I would recommend them as a first. I'd say definitely to get a Muji, you kind of need to want one.
Yeah, you kind of
need to want one, because I don't know if I could justify taking it as a note-taking pen. Maybe if it's like what you're talking about, like I want to do something that's really nice, I might go for one. But if it's like day to day, it's really more of an aesthetic pen.
Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with our writing style though, because he prints a lot and I write in cursive. So for me, the ink flow, the fact that it's so smooth is extremely helpful because I'm not picking my pen up off the paper all the time. And it's kind of nice to just spit something out and have a pen that kind of glides along the page. That's our Muji pen. So now we're going to move on to the Stabilo fine liners. So these are markers basically.
From what I can tell so far for this, just using this one, the ink dries really quickly.
Yeah, because, well, it's a marker.
It's a marker. That's really nice, so then I don't get much bleed. I don't get much, like, smearing, so that's really nice.
Yeah, I mean, it dries almost instantly. As soon as you get it on the page, it's done.
And it goes back to it being a marker.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're nice. These are really nice. And they're really pretty.
And I'll have swatches at the end of the video and a link to my study blog, so you can check that out in the description. I will also post photos of all the swatches there, too. And I won't just swatch these. I'll swatch my entire collection of probably over 200 pens for you guys. So keep an eye out for that.
Nice pen, writes nicely. I'm on the fence on whether or not I like it being a marker.
Yeah, it does go through. I mean, it depends on the color too, because you notice the gold one doesn't go through as much as the black. Honestly, I didn't really pay that much for the whole set though, and you can get them in the States as well, so it makes sense to me. I think I paid like $15 for the whole wrap of them. For $15, if you're trying to make like aesthetic notes or like do something like that.
Or maybe like color coordinating.
Yeah, color coordinating. I know, you're really big into that.
Oh yeah. The one thing I am kind of worried about it is the tip.
Yeah.
I'd be very cautious. This is definitely not a day-to-day pen.
Or you have to have a really light writing style. Yeah.
My writing style is very like, I push.
Yeah, because you write like straight down to try and avoid the...
Yeah, trying to avoid a bit of smearing. And I write at a bit of an angle. I'd be really worried about these tips.
Yeah, so what I've noticed is like the tip will start to bend a little bit, and then you kind of have to switch what side you normally use, and you'll write like with the other side of the pen instead at an angle so that it adjusts it back, and then you just kind of have to keep rotating
Yeah,
it.
you just got to keep moving it.
If you don't pay attention, the pens could get destroyed extremely easily, so. We're going to try the mild liner highlighters, which are the sensation of Tumblr study blogs. They are literally everywhere. So if you are not aware, they have a highlighter tip at one end, and then at the other end, they have a marker tip, which is really nice, especially if you're trying to like color coordinate things. Again, big color coordination. They're really good in my experience. For a highlighter, they have so many different colors.
Already off the bat, I can tell you, I really like how it has a fine and then it has a bold. Because sometimes you want to highlight like a word.
Yeah.
And that's where you're going to use the bold. Sometimes you want to like do a passage. That's where you come in the fine.
I really like the pastels. Okay, it's like my favorite pack. Okay, the pastels are just gorgeous.
Not my favorite. See, here's the thing. When I look for color personally, I like something that's very bold.
I do like this yellow though. It's more of like a golden sun-kissed type thing. It's more what you expect from Tumblr.
This is something I would like.
Yeah.
Because it's dark and it's bold. I'd buy these for aesthetic. I wouldn't buy them for day to day.
It is kind of nice because the mild liners have such an array of colors that if you like color coding things in an English textbook like I do, I like having a different color for red devices and a different color for, you know, my personal opinions, themes, like having those different colors really helps me to see it immediately, and it's extremely helpful for me. So I like color coding all that stuff because it also helps to like flip back or flip through and be like, oh, okay, this is where this is a quote I can use for this, and you know, for annotating a whole book, it's really helpful. For a passage or two, I don't really think that it'd be that helpful, but it is kind of tedious to go through and change your color while you're annotating.
I'm torn on these pens. You know, on one hand, I really like the different colors. Also, I've never tried your technique of having a different color for every single device. I've always just used, like, I'll pick one highlighter, and I'll use it for the entire book. I'll highlight everything I need to. I'll write whatever I need to.
But it's so nice to have a different color. It's
you know what?
It's really helpful.
I'm thinking back to our last book that we've annotated. And I remember specifically I was trying to look for a passage, but because they're all the same color, I was trying to look for like the same idea. Yeah. I'd have to stop at each and try and read and pull what I got. As a highlighter, really nice. I do like the variation kind of, even though I don't like the pastels, I very much do appreciate them. They
do look beautiful.
Wouldn't use them for daily use.
They're really commonly seen for bullet journaling. So if you're into that, or like journaling, scrapbooking, whatever, and you need some fancier things, Tumblr stationery could be there to help you out. However, again, school, day-to-day use, if you're a student, I don't necessarily know that I would recommend you doing it.
I think that's the running theme that we've seen with these pens, these 3 pens, is that they're all really nice pens. They're all really nice, like, highlighters, pens, markers. They're not good for day-to-day, but when you do use them, they're really nice.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend all of these, with maybe the exception of the erasable Mujis. I just can't fathom spending that much money on that crappy a pen.
Look really good. Nice in their own respects. I think it might be our differences, because you're very much more Tumblr-esque, I'm very utilitarian.
Well, I've been very into like pens and stationery and stuff pretty much my entire life. The nicer things, I can't stand using a crappy pen. Like, if I have to use the stupid capped, like,
the
big blue. The big blue ones that have, like, the worst quality ink ever, and you get them, like, a pack of 1,000 for $2, and you're just like, no.
Overall, they're all good pens. Me, personally, I don't know if I could justify the price of buying them, just because I'm thinking about when can I actually use them. I think as you labeled it, it's like, this is a Tumblr aesthetic thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going for that, by all means, buy this stuff, enjoy yourself. Someone who's not necessarily interested in that, I'm not necessarily I'm not interested in doing it myself. I couldn't justify buying these things. Maybe the Mujis.
Well, the Mujis I use is like an everyday pen, and you can buy a pack of the black Muji pens on Amazon, and they're like $15 for a pack of 12 pens, somewhere in that range. I don't remember. It was like, I think it was like $13.50 I paid for a pack of 12, which isn't that bad compared to like going to a store and buying a pack of Pilot G2 pens or Uniballs. It's very similar in price to those. So for those, like, as you...
Okay, so the Mujis, we could both agree, are probably definitely worth the price.
Yeah, I mean, the colored ones are a little bit more expensive, but I think that's because the colored ink is maybe more expensive to make. But for your standard black or blue Mujis, they're about the same price as any other pen you can go to Walmart and buy. Obviously, you have to get them from Amazon or whatever. So this has been the Tumblr stationery review. I hope Marco's insights were helpful if you're left-handed and maybe worried about smudging or smearing or, I don't know, other issues that come with being a lefty. So this has been the Tumblr stationery review. I hope you guys enjoyed. So again, there's a link below to my Tumblr if you guys want to check out the swatches of all of the stuff that was tested today and all of my pens and markers and whatnot that was not talked about today because, well, we just didn't have that much time. But if you guys are interested in knowing about the rest of my astronomically large collection, please leave a comment below and maybe I'll come at you guys with a second video if there's more interest in that. Overall, I would recommend pretty much everything here if you have the money and are looking for nicer things to purchase. If you're starting a Tumblr study blog or a study Instagram or a study anything, don't feel like you have to go out and buy all of this stuff. I kind of like already had this obsession and then I got a Tumblr and it just kind of made it worse. Alright, so thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you do, leave a like down below. If you are new here, feel free to click that subscribe button. And then if you have already subscribed, hit that little bell so that you get a notification every time I post a new video. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next week.